Malcolm was found by his wife, Heather. She rang the emergency services.
Very hard to relate how fateful that day seems, that I should have been at work and due to an accident on the motorway, I turned around, and then due to traffic on another motorway, I turned round and came home and was there at the moment that he actually had a heart attack.
Adult red phone 10 minutes, that's adult red phone 10 minutes.
When a patient has a cardiac arrest outside of hospital, their chances of surviving it are extraordinarily slim.
56-year-old Malcolm has been rushed to King's from his home in Kent after suffering a cardiac arrest.
What's more important than surviving the cardiac arrest is your degree of function afterwards, and how well you are and able you are to return to your previous life as you knew it. And that's very, very, very slim.
As Malcolm would have witnessed collapse, he was very, very agitated with his wife, found to be in cardiac arrest, had immediate bystander CPR, had one DC shock within 4 minutes of collapse.
So collapse time was?
Collapse time was about 2.5 hours.
How long do you think he was in arrest for? Just for a couple of minutes?
4 minutes.
Fine, lovely. Yeah, that's what I thought.
It's 2.5 hours since Malcolm's cardiac arrest. His heart stopped for 2 minutes.
If we can get a 12-lead ECG, please, when you've got your monitoring on. Papa, will you be able to get an ABG for us?
I got Callum doing that.
Malcolm is now on life support.
Airways all good.
Yep.
Yeah. So we'll get our monitoring on. Midazolam initially on induction, but I've asked them for a full list of all their drugs protocol that we've given, so we'll know better from there.
We met at work. Actually, we didn't meet. We spoke on the phone for about 4 or 5 years before there was a relationship. Yeah, I suppose you get a good idea in your head of who somebody is over such a long period of time. When I was due to leave that particular job, I realised that actually I was leaving Malcolm behind as well. And that seemed like quite a painful thing. When he phoned me and said, "I'm in love with you," I said, "I feel the same." So we met on the 29th of May 1998, and on the 29th of May 1999 we got married.
Malcolm was found by his wife, Heather. She rang the emergency services.
Very hard to relate how fateful that day seems, that I should have been at work and due to an accident on the motorway, I turned around, and then due to traffic on another motorway, I turned round and came home and was there at the moment that he actually had a heart attack.
Life is unpredictable because the people who come to see me every day didn't intend to come and see me. So it's important that your nearest and dearest know that you love them. You have to tell them that you love them, because there may come a time when you're not around to tell them.
He was going blue. He wasn't breathing properly, and I needed to do something. So I was breathing for him. I was doing chest compressions. I wasn't sure what I was doing was right. I don't think I was prepared to entertain the idea that he would die. I wouldn't allow myself to go there.
Malcolm has arrived at the cath lab.
Watch his feet on the...
Heather and Sarah face at least a 2.5-hour wait, as a team of over 8 people will attempt to restore Malcolm's heart function to normal.
The whole team is very acutely aware that there's a patient's life in everyone's hands. At King's, we always believe that if there's any chance that someone will survive, then we give them that chance. We are inherent optimists. Heather's resuscitation of Malcolm was the most crucial thing. It is those first few minutes that are the most important. Those are the few minutes where the heart is not pumping, the brain is starved of oxygen, and if you don't manage those first few minutes well with effective resuscitation, the brain is damaged, and it's damaged irreversibly, and there's nothing we can do about it.
Sitting outside the cath lab, I think, was probably the most anxious I was for the whole time. Thinking, did I do enough? Did I breathe enough for him? And would it be him? Would it be Malcolm at the end of it?
What I've found is he's got quite bad coronary disease.
Right.
He's actually blocked a very important artery down the front of the heart. So what I've done is I have opened that artery up with a balloon, get some flow down it, which is fine, which is very straightforward. You've got cause to be optimistic, but we've also got to be realistic as well. We're not going to underestimate what's happened today.
He said there's no reason why he couldn't walk out of here at the end of this.
After 3 hours in the cath lab, Malcolm's heart condition has been stabilised. But until he wakes up, no one will know the extent of any brain damage he may have sustained.
Nobody wants to say goodbye. Everyone wants us to do absolutely everything that we can to stop it from happening. But we have to bear in mind that the person who survives, they may not be the same. They may never wake up, or if they do, they may be very, very impaired, and sometimes just subtly impaired, but it's enough to change their relationship.
He'd been slowly woken up. There was a group of nurses standing round his bed, and as they moved away, he was sitting on one side, leaning, just looking at me, and said, "You're late." Do you slap him? Do you hug him? What do you do? You're just glad that he was alive and that he was okay. And it was him.
Hey, we go down the seaside. Go down the water, shall we? Yeah. Yes. Yes.
For Heather, she is my life. And, yeah. She does everything to me, and it's just, I'm glad I survived so I can live with her longer. She saved my life.